Hi there, and welcome to my camp here by the river. I've been sitting here for a while because it's such a beautiful morning. I'm just out for a hike. I'm going to have a campfire and some coffee. And please join me, by the way. And thank you for clicking on that thumbnail also. That's wonderful. Thank you. I grew up without a smartphone, without even a mobile phone. We didn't have any internet. I'm from that last generation who grew up without a mobile phone, without the internet. When my generation is gone, there will be nobody around who will be able to tell you what life used to be like without this online existence. Now there are, pros and cons with everything, I guess, but I do feel that we were more free. We had more freedom. We were, in a good sense, wilder, less civilized. I guess what I'm trying to say here is that one day people of my generation will be gone. And I'm asking for one thing. Remember us. And remember our stories about life outside of the grid, outside of all the artificial stuff, before it all started. Because, and here's the part where some people will call me a conspiracy theorist and all that, but I mean, to me it's quite obvious what's happening now. More surveillance, less freedom, control. Everything is supposed to be within that box, within that grid, looked upon, monitored, surveilled. And I don't like that. It's the opposite of freedom. It's the opposite of independence. And let me ask you, if you're not free, what's the point? If you do not have freedom, I'm telling you, you have nothing. If you do not have freedom, well, there's a name for that. Then you're a slave. And as, let's just call it the powers that be or something like that, as they are removing more and more freedoms, as they are putting up another camera on your street corner, yet another one, your freedom is being taken away. And I'm telling you, this life here is better. Now I don't have a smartphone, and I've said it a million times now, I think, but it's not a it's not a popular message. But I'm telling you, I used to have a smartphone. It's been more than 3 years now without a smartphone. And I have a routine now where I check my work emails twice a week, no more. And yes, I do work. I'm a novelist. And it is a better life. I prioritize time in nature. I enjoy my own company. I'm out here a lot, hiking and spending the night out in the woods and so on. And you can do that too, if you're not already doing it. And I get messages, comments, I see some comments where people are saying, I can't do that because I live in a city. I get it, but I think still that you can. You can detach yourself from modern society, at least part of the time. remember us. And if someone's watching this video decades from now, when I'm gone too, please try to understand what I'm trying to tell you here. There used to be a time when we had this thing called freedom. There used to be a time where you could just go out and nobody would know. I mean, you could just go out and you wouldn't be monitored, surveilled, and you wouldn't be carbon taxed or whatever. I don't know what's coming in the future. I don't know what ridiculous ideas that will be popularized and put into effect in the legal system and so on in the future. I don't know. And maybe I'm being melodramatic and all that. Maybe. Let's just hope that in the future everything is more free and wonderful, and people are spending a lot of time out in nature. But right now, that's not where things are heading. That's not where society is heading at all. And I worry, because there is one word that I hear almost never, like when the politicians and so on, when they talk about what they want to do and their visions for the future and how they are going to make your life better. They never talk about freedom. They don't use that word. Have you noticed that? They don't talk about freedom anymore. I want to thank all the people who have subscribed to this channel recently. This is a wonderful community, and it's good to have you here, and I really mean that. I do have hope for the future, and especially for the younger generations. I see a lot of potential and a lot of bright minds, people who are able to see through the nonsense. And what we are going to see now, well, we are already seeing it. People much younger than me they have figured it out, and they understand that they need to get out of the grid. I'm not going to get into a long discussion about economics here, but what we are looking at now is a system which makes it very difficult to become wealthy in a traditional sense. So I think we need to re-evaluate what wealth is. And maybe it has more to do with experiences, freedom, your ability to exist outside of the traditional grid. Maybe that's wealth. I think so. And it seems like more and more people are now realizing that. You know, we were never built to work ourselves to death. Seems obvious, right? But that's where things are heading. Our fine politicians, our governments, those people, they seem to that seems to be their plan. And we're supposed to work until we die. Those who will work, and then they will have people on universal basic income, and it's a horrible system if you look at it. We were not supposed to live like that, and I would even say that's not really living. We were supposed to be free. We were supposed to be out in nature, moving, enjoying life. And we can still do that. You know, we can still do that. It's out there, waiting for you. Skål, as we say here in Norway. Cheers. You know, they say photography is about making memories or preserving memories. But I think life in general should be about that. Making memories. We shouldn't waste our lives just sitting there in a box looking at a screen, you know. And by a box I mean some apartment, some room. You know, we should be outside. I guess I'm not the best photographer you could find, but I enjoy it. You know, it's a fun hobby. Maybe we will see a revival of a more natural lifestyle. A lifestyle where people value freedom, where people are willing to give up some comfort for freedom. Because that seems to be the problem these days. Most people out there are quite content. They would rather have their somewhat comfortable life and then, you know, not so much freedom. They will trade in their freedom for comfort. But maybe we will see new, younger, wild men and wild women. I hope so. We must stay hopeful, I think. And if you're still with me and you haven't subscribed yet, you might consider clicking on that subscribe button. There's a better chance that YouTube will tell you next time I upload a video if you do that. So please consider that. And as always, thank you for watching and stay strong.